Hello and welcome to the Newscast, your daily roundup of gaming news with myself, Amata. Today is the 22nd of June and today I'm bringing you some news regarding The Last of Us Remastered, Battlefield 4, A Dragon's Teeth, and No Man's Sky. Now I actually have a couple of pieces of news regarding The Last of Us Remastered, and the first one is that it's currently listed for $49.99 on Amazon. Now before this, it was actually listed for a rather hefty $60, which is pretty pricey in comparison to other HD remasters. Say for example like Wind Waker HD, which was priced at $50, which of course a pretty much complete remaster considering the original platform of the release, or the Halo Master Chief Collection, which will feature 4 games, 100 multiplayer maps, and a beta for upcoming map, as well as a spin-off series, all for $60. The Last of Us Remastered, which to be honest isn't that old of a game. Yes, it is going to be remastered for the PS4, but you know, is not a bigger remaster as say Wind Waker HD. So $60 for Last of Us, it does start to look a little bit poor value. Now, as I said, it is now down in price to $49.99 on Amazon, representing a 17% cut in the price from its full price, bringing it down to a slightly more reasonable level and actually in line with the other HD remasters that we've seen. Obviously, if you pre-order this now at this lower price, you will get it for that price, even if it goes back up. So I suggest that if you are thinking, oh, maybe $60 is a bit much, then now is your chance to get it a little bit cheaper, and I suggest you take it, as $60 is a little bit ridiculous, to be honest. Now, my second piece of news regarding The Last of Us Remastered is actually the preloading, which of course is now live in the US. Now, they have said The Last of Us Remastered will not actually be supporting preloading, and the reason is a bit strange, according to the digital distribution manager Chia Chen. Since they started taking pre-orders from May the 20th, they won't be able to support preloading. And he said on the comment section of the PlayStation blog, quote, "Since pre-order for The Last of Us Remastered started before May the 20th, 2014, this title will not support the preload feature." Which is a little bit strange and seems like a little bit like paper-thin excuse, and perhaps Naughty Dog have a bigger reason for not doing preloading. It's tough to say. I'm not sure if it's too early to put on my conspiracy theorist hats. There we go. It'd be good if I could get my words in the right order. But it does seem a bit suspect, really, doesn't it? Next up is the Battlefield 4 Dragon's Teeth DLC. And it has actually been listed for a July release, and has been spotted online with that listing, of course, making it seem like it's going to come out very, very soon. Of course, Dragon's Teeth is going to give you 4 new multiplayer maps, all set in Asian cities, alongside a heavily armed, remotely operated ground vehicle and a 2-handed ballistic shield. And it's also going to reportedly add new weapons, a new mode called Chainlink, and some other new features as well. So obviously this patch is not exactly just a couple of maps and that's it. It's actually a fairly significant update, so it's a little bit surprising to see it listed for release so soon after they actually announced it. It wasn't actually that long ago that they first detailed this particular piece of DLC. So, a little bit interesting. And for those of you asking, the Twitter user at Sir Uruk was able to basically get images of the listings, one on the German version of Origin, a Spanish version, and Origin US. So it seems like this is the final date, as unlikely as it seemed before this. It seems pretty damn legit, and of course I will give a link to the source article with these images in the description below this video. And finally, we're going to finish up this news cache with No Man's Sky, as of course it is currently only confirmed for the PlayStation 4 and the PC. Now this naturally does raise the question of will it come to the Xbox One, but it does seem that they currently have no plans for bringing it to Microsoft's console. And he said, and this is developer, for the game, quote, "We're not currently talking about an Xbox One version of No Man's Sky, only that No Man's Sky makes its console debut on PS4. Now, that doesn't really mean a whole lot, to be honest. It just means that they're not talking about it now. What might happen is that they'll release on the PC and PS4 first, and then release on the Xbox One. If they can, of course. The Xbox One does have the parity clause for indies, but we'll have to see. Given that this game is so ridiculously hyped, I think Microsoft would be remiss not to make an exception to their parity rules for No Man's Sky if Hello Games wants to bring it to that platform. I would assume they will. They aren't outright ruling out. They're not saying we're never coming to Xbox One. We're saying we're not talking about it right now, and it's going to make its console debut on PS4. Now what that says to me is it's going to come out first on PS4, then maybe a month or so later it's going to come out on PC, and then maybe once both of those versions are out and stable and they're happy with how they're trucking along, they will focus on an Xbox One version. Obviously they are a small team, so that makes perfect sense to me. They aren't ruling out, just saying that talking about it right now. So disappointing that those of you with the Xbox One won't be getting your hands on it just yet, but I wouldn't give up hope entirely. It seems fairly reasonable that they will eventually bring No Man's Sky to the Xbox One. Anyway guys, that is me done for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.